I have a witness who's been seeing strange things in the sky here all her life. She tells me that she has a couple of experiences that she'd like to share. She's lived in the area for quite some time, and her house is actually right on the lake. And this is where I think she had one of her principal experiences.
Now in her early 80s, Dale has lived on Lake Pend Oreille, the epicenter of the region's UFO activity, her entire life.
Thank you for having us here. I hear what's been going on is quite strange.
Oh, yes.
Could you start by telling us what the most recent encounter is that you've had?
Yes.
Dale reports that she's witnessed both fireball UFOs and the star people since she was 5 years old. For decades, the encounters were little more than benign sightings, but later in life, they've become aggressive. Now, she lives in dread of their return.
My husband and I were in the living room watching TV. It's about 11 o'clock at night.
Out of nowhere, Dale gets an eerie sensation.
I just felt concerned. I've been seeing these since I was a child, and my theory is they wanted to hurt us.
Despite concerns for her safety, Dale felt drawn to the window unnaturally.
It was kind of scary. See this very bright light coming over the mountain, white and very, very bright. It's probably 300 or 400 feet out from that mountain.
Okay.
We didn't actually see what shape it was, but the light itself was quite large. So we start watching it, and it gets up above the mountain, and then it hovered for a short time, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then it suddenly dives down the front of the mountain and into the water. We thought, wow, maybe that's a UFO. There's no sound, and we can't see any splash at night, and it just kind of disappeared.
Did it come back out of the water?
No, and we were watching it probably several hours and never saw it come back.
What would you say to somebody who tells you what you saw was probably a meteor? What would you tell them why it's not?
No, first of all, it didn't travel like a meteor. I've seen meteors here. Every once in a while we have one. This was not a meteor. I called Spokane International Airport and I asked them if they had anything going on. They didn't. I called the Air Force Base there and asked them if they had any. Of course, they wouldn't tell me anyway. The sheriff's office didn't know anything about it. So I don't know. But what the heck was it doing? We just don't know.
The fireball craft, which I have seen, are brilliant, beautiful, bright orange. They are absolutely stunning. These type craft, if they were high enough, would look like a meteorite. Absolutely massive, totally silent. They're not using solar power. Their technology is nothing like ours.
This area of Idaho is pretty unique. As I've been kind of looking into it, you have a very deep lake here. I've heard it's pretty deep.
Over 1,000 feet, yeah.
Over 1,000 feet. And the Navy also has a research facility here?
Yeah, at the south end of the lake, they work on submarines.
And they've been there for quite some time, right?
Yeah, since World War II. And because our lake is over 1,000 feet deep, they can go down into that depth and check the quality of the electronics.
Is it possible that this alien species is monitoring the Navy's activity deep underwater? Or is the Navy monitoring the aliens? One thing is for certain, the people of this town have reported sightings of the star people in this area for as long as they can remember.
Was that the only experience you had with seeing this entity?
I've seen so many of these. Ever since I was a child, I've been seeing strange things.
Of the numerous encounters Dale has had over the years, one night lives on in her nightmares.
It's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I hear a funny noise in the kitchen. And I can't really place what it is.
The mysterious noise drew closer to the bedroom.
This being came out of the kitchen. Little skinny creature. He had great big eyes, little tiny mouth. I felt fear.
The description matches that of a star person who are believed to be able to communicate telepathically.
And he said he wanted to show me something, would I come with him? And I didn't want to. I started praying, you know, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And I'm not too sure what to do because it's kind of scary. I didn't really want to go with him. So I reached over to wake my husband up, and as you can see, I have some pretty good nails. And I'm actually digging my nails into his arm. I couldn't get him to wake up, and that was scary. He's not responding at all. And I'm trying to wake him up, and the being said, I want you to come with me.
Next, Dale remembers being abducted and taken outside.
Somehow we got out of the house, and he said, I want you to see this lake.
Why did the star person want to show Dale the lake? Was it a warning or a threat? It's a question that haunts her to this day.
When I woke up the next morning, my husband looks over at me and he said, what was going on last night? And I said, you're not going to believe this. And he said, well, I know something happened. Look at my arm. And he showed me his arm, and he actually had blood where I had scratched him hard enough to cause him to bleed. And yet it didn't wake him up.
Dale has seen the star people throughout her life, but this was the first time she could recall being taken against her will.
You've had these very impactful experiences.
Right.
Was that somewhat disturbing? I mean, you grabbed onto his arm and made it bleed.
It was. In the past, I always thought it was a dream, but this was a whole nother ballgame.
Are Dale's dreams actually repressed memories of abductions at the hands of the star people?
So do you feel that you are a conduit for these things?
Maybe, I don't know. I just know that I've been seeing them since I was little.